Okay. So today we are doing my first impressions video. If you've never seen a video like this, basically I'm going to review a foundation and then periodically come back and share with you what I think of the foundation throughout the day. So I'll come back. Right now it is 9:02 exactly in the morning, so that's why there's like a lot of sunlight coming in. And then I'm going to come back a few hours later, and tell you how the foundation is holding up. So today we are reviewing the Dior Star Foundation. I'm going to read you what it says and do all that. But first, I just want to make a quick channel announcement. I mentioned in my video, my last video that I just did, which is the Get Ready With Me Daytime Glam, and I put in the description bar that YouTube isn't my full-time job. I do have another job, so because of that, uploading 3 days a week was becoming to get too hard for me. So I do have to cut out Thursdays. So I will be uploading every Monday and Wednesday, but because of that, I'm putting a pause on my must-haves for Monday, or else I'm only gonna have one makeup tutorial on Wednesday, and that's what I truly enjoy doing. So I enjoy doing hair tutorials, makeup tutorials, fashion looks. I don't wanna just commit to must-haves Monday and then doing like makeup videos and hair videos on Wednesday. To me, it's just like, that's not what my channel's for. I want to share tips and do makeup looks and hair looks, so I want to do that more than 1 day a week. So Mondays and Wednesdays will be tutorials and looks and that kind of stuff. So let's get into what we're doing today though. So I have Sephora's website up right now and I will tell you what it says. So this is the Dior Star Foundation. It says that it is $50 at Sephora. So it's pricey, so you want to make sure you like it before you get this. Looks like they have a good amount of shades, especially in the beige selection. They have medium beige, they have light beige, they have sand, they have rosy beige, they have apricot beige, what's this one? Honey beige, so they have a lot of beige colors, so for me, I really do like that. I ended up going with light beige, so that's what I'm going to be using today. It mentions that it is an illuminating foundation, which is probably why I wanted it in the first place, because I love doing foundations. Some of my favorite foundations are the YSL foundation and the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk. So yeah, it says that it's supposed to capture light, and that's kind of what it was inspired by. So let's give it a try. Okay, it says to shake, so we're gonna shake it. I'm using the Bare Minerals primer. I know that in a first impressions video I should probably not use a primer, but most of us do use primers or something underneath our skin before, underneath our skin, no. Most of us do use a primer before foundation, like some sort, like moisturizer or something, so I am going to use this. Plus, I've been really liking this primer, and usually I'm fine with just my moisturizer, so we'll see. I'm going to be using these two together, so I want to make sure that they perform well together. Okay, so I'm going to use it with my Sigma F80. We're going to dip that in. Okay, something about it smells like the YSL foundation to me. So the color is nice. I think that maybe if I really do end up liking this foundation, I might want to try the honey beige and just go a little darker, but we'll see, just because I do self-tan and I want it to match my chest. Okay, it does look like I did have some red spots today, so that's why it was a perfect day to do this tutorial. It does look like it's covering, so I just don't think, so far, and this is just my opinion so far, I didn't go out through the day with it yet. So far, it's a very moisturizing feeling foundation, and since I have dry skin, I think that my skin really likes this kind of a moisturizing foundation, but I don't know if somebody that's oily is going to like this. So far, that's just what so now, I think I'm going to take my beauty blender and spray that because I don't really go into the sink right now. Lazy. So I just started doing this and I'm not explaining. The reason why I'm using my beauty blender now is I feel like it's not blending nicely on my like nose, like this area. I just feel like it's kind of looking cakey and sort of streaky, so that's why I'm going with my beauty blender. So it's pretty much all covered. Maybe if I was going for a more full coverage look, that I would go in a second time and do that whole step again. So far, my recommendations are applying it with a damp sponge, damper than this one, and not the Sigma F80, which I know a lot of people use. Second, I don't think that this is very dewy and illuminating. I don't think that it's matte either. You could get a full coverage look with this. I think right now I have a medium coverage because I can still see that tiny little scar blemish thing that I have that I picked at, so don't do that. I still see my freckles, so it does still look like skin. It's not like the Kat Von D foundation where when I put that on, everything's covered. It's not like that whatsoever. But I do think that if you have acne, you could get a full coverage look on this. And by doing that, you're gonna have to go layer over layer and just keep layering it up. So I'm gonna go do the rest of my makeup and I will come back a few hours later and let you know what I think. Hey everyone, so I just got back. Oh, hairs in my eyes. I just got back from being out, so now I can kind of give you a better opinion of how it's been holding up since I have been outside. I've been running errands, and yeah, so we can actually talk about what I think of it. I don't know if you guys can see, but it is breaking up on my nose. It's also breaking up on my chin, above my lip. Just kind of this area doesn't really look that great. When I was in my car, I did like look in the mirror because I always feel like that's the best lighting, whether I like something or not. And that's like where I always check my concealer too, because the car mirror, like, it does not lie. It's got all natural sunlight. And yeah, so that's where I check everything. And when I was looking at myself, sorry, there's a mirror right here. When I was looking at myself, I was just like, wow, it's just really breaking up. So, right as of right now, and I don't think that this is really going to change from later today, but I'll still come back. As of right now, I'm not crazy about this foundation. I think for $50, this shouldn't be doing this, especially because I do have a bunch of other high-end foundations that don't do this to me. So, I don't know if this is going to be something I'm going to keep. I did get it yesterday, so I can still return it. I don't know if this is going to be something I want just because it is $50. I know I use a lot of high-end foundations, and it's not because I enjoy spending $50 on them. It's honestly because they do perform better to me than the drugstore foundation. So, and I have sensitive skin, and a lot of drugstore foundations make me break out. So I do like to buy high-end foundations, but at the same time, I don't like to waste money either, so I probably will be returning this. I would say that this foundation really reminds me of the Makeup Forever HD foundation, if you've ever tried that. Personally, I don't like it. I know it has a big cult following and everyone loves that foundation, but personally, what was that? I was like, personally, I don't like that foundation. It makes me break out, and it does exactly what this foundation's doing. It breaks up on my nose and here and just this area. So I don't like that foundation. This reminds me of that foundation. So I don't know, I guess you can look at it like if you love the Makeup Forever foundation, you'll probably like this. Maybe you can look at it like that. I'll still be back later, but it's not working out right now. So I will talk to you guys soon. So now I am back. It is 2 o'clock. The last time that we spoke, I was already planning on returning the foundation. I didn't really like it. It was creasing in these areas. And now I like the foundation. What do you know? So what I did was, as soon as we were done talking, I did powder those areas a little bit because I still had to run some more errands. I went to the pharmacy, the grocery store, and a few other things, and I was like, I still want to look presentable when I leave. I don't want to be like just like creasing and separating in these areas, so I just added a little bit of powder, and honestly, it did a little bit, but not much. So then after that, around like 12 o'clock, I did spray my face with, what's it called? Why is this spray bar? K All-Nighter Setting Spray. Usually I use Max Fix Plus, but that's what I use today. And it just completely freshened up my makeup and made it look like, I can't even explain it, like just not creasy. And I don't know if it was the mixture between that and the powder, but anyways, it really worked out for me. So when I did get into my car and I did like a little check to see what I think with the car mirror, because the car mirror does not lie. It has all natural light and it hides nothing. I loved the way my foundation looked. I was like, oh my god, I love this. So, my final verdict is I love this foundation. I would give it a 8.5 out of 10. Reason being is because I did discover in the beginning of the video that I have to apply it with a damp beauty blender and I cannot use my Sigma F80. to me, that's just more of an annoyance thing and more of a personal thing, just because I want to be able to use this brush because it's nice and big and I can go a lot quicker. With my damp beauty blender, I feel like it wastes a lot of product when you apply foundation that way. That's why I don't use certain foundations all the time that have to be applied with the damp beauty blender, because you're wasting product. So by wasting product, that's wasting money to me. So in that sense, that deducts points. The second reason why it deducts some points is the fact that it needs to be set with powder before bronzer and all of that stuff. So I do technically set all my foundations with powder, because I powder this area and I powder around my face. But this foundation needs to be powdered everywhere, and usually because I am so dry skinned, I don't have to do that step with my other foundations. So that's another reason why I'm personally going to deduct points in that sense. Oh, and setting spray. So make sure if you are going to give this foundation a try that you do use a setting spray, you do set it with powder, and you'll be good to go. Now, I officially am keeping this foundation and I will be using it in tutorials. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if there's another foundation you want me to review and I will do that. So I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!